Also known as the Devil's Triangle, many mysterious events and sightings have happened in these waters, like this ghost ship sighting, and one possible reason for the disappearances in this region. But first, let's take a look at this weird phenomenon. Number 10. Hexagonal clouds. Has the Bermuda Triangle mystery been resolved at last? Well, not really, but several meteorologists appear to agree. Footage from the Science Channel's television series What on Earth was aired. Satellite weather photos with honeycomb cloud formations such as those seen above the Bermuda Triangle are unusual but not uncommon. When cold dry air mixes with warm water, these open and close cells form. Typically, the patterns can be seen over the mid-North Atlantic and North Pacific from late fall to early spring. According to a Science Channel study, the cloud patterns, which can cause updrafts and downdrafts, may be responsible for anomalous behavior in the Bermuda Triangle. Randy Cervini, professor of geographical sciences at Arizona State University, describes the odd clouds as air bombs capable of delivering 170-mile-an-hour hurricane-force wind gusts, which could likely cause problems for passing ships and aircrafts. However, according to Stephen Miller, who participated on the Science Channel documentary, this weather pattern cannot be blamed for Bermuda Triangle disappearances because it occurs all over the world. Number 9. Mary Celeste. Despite being discovered in another area of the Atlantic Ocean, the connection to the Bermuda Triangle had been used to solve the enigma of a ship's fate. The ship was discovered stranded in the sea on December 4, 1872, with everything in place except for the complete crew. It had set sail from New York to Genoa, Italy. However, when a passing British ship called Dei Gratia discovered Mary Celeste under partial sail in the Atlantic off the Azores Islands, it was unmanned, with no crew aboard, and the lifeboat was also missing. It was also discovered that 9 of the cargo barrels were empty, and there was a sword on the deck. Theories about the Mary Celeste disappearance included the possibility of a criminal conspiracy, alien abduction, and even an attack by a huge squid. There has never been any trace of the persons aboard the ship or the lost lifeboat. Many speculated on the role of an undersea earthquake in the tragedy, whereas few speculated on the vessel's unintentional entry into the Bermuda Triangle. Number 8. Ellen Austin. The Ellen Austin sailed from Liverpool to New York in 1881. The ship had been at sea for several weeks, carrying passengers en route to America, when the captain took an unforeseen detour via the Sargasso Sea. This treacherous route took the Ellen Austin through the Bermuda Triangle. The captain noticed another vehicle sailing wildly in the distance shortly into the detour. The ship appeared to be abandoned and was traveling in an unpredictable manner. Captain Griffin of the Ellen Austin, convinced that it was a trap, stayed a safe distance for 2 days before ordering a crew to go aboard and examine why the ship wasn't answering to their hails. The nameless schooner was discovered abandoned with its cargo intact. Captain Griffin directed that a small group of his crew captain the ship and sail it to New York, where it could be salvaged. A strong storm separated the two ships shortly after they resumed their journey. When the storm passed, Captain Griffin saw the unusual ship again. Captain Griffin chose to leave the ship adrift and continue on to New York, either because he was afraid of losing yet another crew or because he was pressured for time and resources. The ship and her improvised crew were never seen again. Number 7. Methane bubbles. According to Australian researchers, methane bubbles from the sea floor could sink ships and explain the strange disappearances of some vessels. Massive bubbles can erupt from gas hydrates, which are subsea reserves of solid methane. Methane, an odorless gas found in bogs and mines, solidifies under the immense pressure encountered on the sea floors. As the ice-like methane deposits rise, they can break off and become gaseous, generating bubbles at the surface. David May and Joseph Monaghan of Australia's Monash University claim to have showed how a massive bubble from one of these deposits could overwhelm a ship. May and Monaghan claimed in their research, published in the American Journal of Physics, that sonar scans of the ocean floor in the North Sea have revealed huge volumes of methane hydrates and eruption sites. An extensive eruption site that is now known as the Witch's Hole contains a sunken vessel, according to a survey. One theory for how the ship sank attributed the lack of buoyancy to methane gas bubbles released from an erupting undersea hydrate. They stated, the North Sea's known quantity of gas hydrates, together with the vessel's final resting posture and location in the Witch's Hole, all support a gas bubble explanation. Number 6. USS Cyclops. The disappearance of the USS Cyclops, one of the Navy's largest fuel ships, is the worst loss of life in US Navy history in a single occurrence. This enormous ship made sail from Brazil to Baltimore through the Bermuda region in March 1918, carrying 10,800 tons of manganese ore and 309 crew members. Starting off on a good day, this ship's first and only transmission showed no problems. The ship, however, was never seen or heard from again. A thorough search of the region was conducted, but nothing was discovered. No trace of the ship or any of its crew members has ever been discovered. The USS Cyclops captain never transmitted a distress signal, and no one on board responded to radio appeals from other vessels in the area. The naval investigators were likewise unable to determine a specific cause for the ship's disappearance, despite a variety of ideas. Number 5. Carroll A. Deering. Because of the entire mystery surrounding its abandonment, the Carroll A. Deering, a 5-masted commercial schooner, is one of the most written about maritime mysteries of the 20th century. Carroll A. Deering was discovered aground on the dangerous rocks of Hatteras Diamond Shoals, North Carolina on January 31, 1921. There were rumors that the ship was involved in rum running. However, when the investigating team from Barbados arrived at the vessel after days of struggle in the rough water, they discovered a deserted ship with all crew members missing, as well as the ship's navigational equipment, logbooks, and life rafts, among other things. The disappearance of the Carroll A. Deering, along with a few other vessels during the same time period in the Bermuda Triangle area, has been vital information on the mysterious waters, but nothing has brought anyone any closer to solving this riddle. According to reports, as many as 9 vessels vanished from the same vicinity during this time period, none of which were ever found. Number 4. Witchcraft. On December 22, 1967, the Witchcraft cabin cruiser set off from Miami with Captain Dan Burak and his buddy Father Patrick Horgan. The two gentlemen boarded the 23-foot luxury yacht to take in the spectacular view of Miami's Christmas lights. However, after only 1 mile from the Coast Guard received a call from the captain indicating that his ship had collided with something, but there was no significant damage. The Coast Guard set off promptly after receiving a request to be towed to the beach, reaching Witchcraft in as little as 19 minutes alone, but to no use. The region where the ship was supposed to be was utterly barren, with no signs of any ship having been stranded or even been present there earlier. What's most remarkable about this story is that the cruise ship was nearly unsinkable. Over the next few days, Coast Guard officials scoured hundreds of square kilometers of ocean but were unsuccessful. Nothing of this ship has been discovered to this day. The ship is gone, and all that is left is speculation about what can be done now. And with that, it's now time for today's best pick. We'll be taking a look at what researchers found under the Bermuda Triangle. Find out more about these creatures next. Number 3. Giant creatures. It's still debated whether prehistoric animals exist today. While some scientists have actual experience with them, others claim it is a myth. Given that the majority of the water has yet to be investigated, these dinosaurs could be hidden somewhere. A marine biologist was intrigued by the events in the Bermuda Triangle and decided to go see for himself. He supposedly discovered this aquatic dinosaur underwater and was startled and amazed to obtain a picture as proof. And not only that, but marine researchers Tsunemi Kubadera and Kyoichi Mori captured video of a 30-foot-long giant squid assaulting baited lines in these seas in 2005. This large sea creature could also be one of the reasons why some of the ships were, quote, mysteriously gone. Bermuda researcher Rob Simone believes the discovery suggests that something comparable is lurking in Bermuda's waters. The legend of the enormous squid is not a myth, he claimed in 2007. If you can imagine it, some of them can grow to be over 100 feet long. We don't know what hides in the ocean's depths. It very well could be a gigantic animal unique to this region. We might never know, but it might help to explain why some ships mysteriously vanished. Perhaps its food source is located there. Number 2. Rogue wave. Scientists have pointed out that there are reasonable reasons for the disappearances, and that the risks of navigating through the Bermuda Triangle are no different from those of other parts of the ocean. One such notion has been given new life. The vessels may have easily been overwhelmed by massive and unexpected rogue waves. This theory is not novel, but a group of UK scientists have explored the evidence for freak waves and other possibilities, including the role of human error, in a 3-part BBC Channel 5 documentary series called The Bermuda Triangle Enigma. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, rogue waves are steep and tall, like, quote, walls of water, and they frequently strike suddenly. Some of them could even reach a terrifying 100 feet in height. While the scientists' findings received widespread attention, it was unable to explain what would cause an aircraft to crash in the Bermuda Triangle. Number 1. Atlantis. Did you know that the Bermuda Triangle might have swallowed up Atlantis? Many other writers were inspired by Donnelly's claims and added their own speculations about the location of Atlantis. Charles Berlitz, grandson of the founder of the well-known language schools and author of numerous books on paranormal phenomena, was one of these writers. Berlitz claimed in the 1970s that Atlantis was a real continent off the coast of the Bahamas that had fallen prey to the infamous Bermuda Triangle, a region of the Atlantic where a number of ships had allegedly vanished under inexplicable circumstances. Supporters of this notion point to the discovery of what appear to be man-made walls and streets off the coast of Bimini, despite the fact that experts examined these structures and determined them to be natural beach rock formations. Others have also heaped onto this theory, claiming that Atlantean technology, including crystal energies, is still functioning on the bottom, creating mechanical failures in the boats and planes above. Obviously, the fact that Atlantis is a myth poses the biggest problem for this argument. But is it really? See you all next time.